Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. With the exception, Destiny, of the first segment, we're going to push all these together to get it out, and we're gonna just have the whole thing for. We might want to pull one or two little clips out of it and work on it to get it out, but we're going to put the whole thing together. So we got a recording going now, and we're going to push this all together. We are talking about. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. There's the phone number. And all the ways you can follow us on social media. We are talking this morning about Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia, okay? What looks like to be going against the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump's recommendation. He's made several. There's been several made around the country. Jim Jordan even, I noticed none of the governor's, Kemp's staff took issue with Jim Jordan's tweet, but the minute the congressman from Florida, I forget his name, went after Kemp and even said, maybe there could be a primary against Kemp, everybody's getting a little up in arms down in Atlanta under the Gold Dome, all the elites, I guess. I would have never thought that of Brian Kemp. I tell you what was funny during the campaign, one person said to me, I'm asking everybody, what is it you like about Brian Kemp? And one person said to me, every time Brian Kemp speaks, he's got a little bit of a lean and a little swag, and he looks like he just climbed out of a NASCAR. The race is over. He just got out of a NASCAR, and he's going to, talk to the cameras. And I get that. That is kind of what he put off. Now, I don't have it, and I would like to research it and put it up. So write this down, okay? Because I want to put this up. I want to go to Donald J. Trump. I don't know how to do it, Destiny. You know how to do this stuff better than I do. I want to go to his Twitter page, and I want to find the day and the tweet that Donald J. Trump, President Trump, put out. I think it was the Friday, not even a week before the runoff, the primary. Now, get this straight. The Republican, if you're out there around the country, this was the Republican, primary runoff. Now, generally, Donald Trump breaks all the molds. Generally, your president, your governor, nobody will get involved until there's a candidate to represent the party. That's how it works. Not Trump. Trump make a decision. He pulls the trigger on his tweet, okay? All right. Now, remember this guy, what was his name? Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle. Remember that? Remember he was supposedly going to be the front runner. Remember he won the primary over Kemp, Hill, the guy that just pled guilty, what was his name, and Tippins and all of them, right? Now, Cagle had his problems because he was caught on a hot mic talking about how the election works. That was getting him in trouble. But remember that, was it Friday before Tuesday, the runoff, that Donald J. Trump sent out a tweet endorsing Brian Kemp? Unheard of. Finished Cagle off. Done. Finished. Now, Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle at that time was in Dahlonega. And he had just left Dahlonega, no cell signal, coming over to Gilmer at the Oakland, the Oakland Community Center out here on 52 in Gilmer County. There was a group of about 20 over there waiting to greet him, and I was there. I am actually the very first person to ask Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle a question immediately after the tweet went out from Donald Trump. Don't think he won't do it, okay? Don't think he won't. Remember a week, I guess it was Friday or a Saturday before Tuesday. Now remember something, number 11, the alternative, okay? I'm just trying to get this. You make up your own mind. Remember, she only lost by 50,000 votes. That's it. 50,000 was it. And she got judges involved. I mean, she made a mess out of Georgia's elections. Donald J. Trump flew into Macon, 30 or 35,000, went down there. And he stood up and said, Brian Kemp. Kemp won by 50,000. He energized this whole state, and he can. Just saying. Okay? Now, I'm not the only one. Everybody around the country knows these are globalists. Let's look at it. I'm trying to get off this. I understand impeachment. We've got time, folks. Relax. Okay? But look at these two right here real quick. Okay? This power couple. Don't you dare, number 5. Don't you dare think for 1 minute. All right? Let's go to number. This is a headline on Breitbart. Number 54. Mark Levin, the great one. Brian Kemp is another Romney and about to appoint a rhino to the Senate. I didn't say it. Hell, damn, you can damn fire. Damn fire. Hell you say. Hell you say. Damn fire. Just sorry. I get caught every once in a while. You know how it goes. Hell fire. Hell fire. Mark Levin, the great one. Brian Kemp is another Romney and about to appoint a rhino to the Senate. 53. Mark Levin tweeted this out yesterday. Looks like Georgia Governor Kemp is another Romney. He's about to appoint a rhino to the Senate. His surrogates are trashing conservative critics like Gats. As Governor Kemp will reportedly tap Loeffler to the seat, Collins has told the Journal-Constitution that he is strongly considering a run for Senate seat, even if he's not picked. But a strong conservative like Gats. Look at that. That's Mark Levin. That ain't me. All right. I got to get out of this subject. I got to close it for the morning. Let me explain something. Put up 13. Let's go to Collins. Because the final question asked yesterday, I've got 1 minute left, the communist Chris Wallace said, as the communist Chris Wallace on Fox Sunday. Sorry, I know. I like to say that with him. We have 1 minute left, Congressman. In the state of Georgia, Johnny Isakson's retiring. With that, there's an open seat, and the governor, Brian Kemp, looks like he may appoint he says conservative Republican. Yeah, that is. Go back and listen to the tape. He's about to appoint conservative Republican businesswoman Kelly Loeffler. Go listen to the tape. Is what we're hearing. What say you? If the governor goes that route, will you run for Senate? And Collins did the respectful thing. We'll see what the governor does. And, after the governor makes his decision, we will have to make our decision. We'll have things to consider, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And he has said he's considering running. Now, I just want to tell you something. I didn't do it. Governor Kemp, you can be mad at me all day long. I still support you. I like you. I'm a little concerned on who you're surrounded with. I'm a little concerned on who makes out on this deal. I'm a little concerned on financially who is to gain. Because it just does not look like your possible pick is, for me, the average working everyday Georgian small business owner. It just doesn't look like anything was done considering us. It's my thought. But if she runs for office and Paul Brown thinks he should be senator, Collins decides to run, big candidate. I'm not for sure if Governor Kemp, and let me say this in all due respect, okay? When this guy goes to other states and other Republican Party meetings, this guy's a rock star. Now, we in the 9th District, we get to see our congressman, okay? we get to talk to our congressman. He's come on this show, okay? Even in Savannah, they're watching, and they're watching. The people that support President Trump know who his defenders are. If you say, I'm a Trump supporter, and you say, okay, as a Trump supporter, who would you consider the top 5 defenders of the President of the United States? I understand it's shocking Lindsey Graham comes up, but this guy gets number 1 or 2 when you're asked from Trump supporters. Are you a Trump supporter? Yes. Who are his top defenders? Jim Jordan, Doug Collins, Ratcliffe, Lindsey Graham. Wow, okay, slow down. This guy, he's a rock star outside of the 9th District. Now, don't take that wrong. That's not agreeing with him. I've just seen it. They like this guy outside of the 9th. I mean, I got a message yesterday. He was on Fox News Sunday, and this came from another state, okay? Not Georgia, all right? And I'm going to read it, not Georgia, really quick. Capital letters. This is right here. Doug is the best congressman in Washington. That did not come from Georgia, okay? So if he runs, he's got name recognition, all right? The governor, if he appoints this lady, she will have more money than anybody running. But don't think for one, in a primary, you got to go to the right. And that guy can get to where he needs to be in a primary. And I'll tell you another thing, he's a good talker. He can get to where he needs to be in a general election. Just saying, as far as a talker, that guy can do it. All right? Be on the ticket. But what if all the others that want to be senator? What about maybe some of the 498, like Jack Kingston, Tom Price? What if some of those out of the 498 that submitted their application, obviously they wanted to be senator, they wouldn't apply, maybe they might run. And then what if the vote count is so diluted and the Democrats only run one candidate and they get 43% of the vote or 51 while we're splitting up the other? Who knows? That's how Doug Jones became senator of Alabama, period. You know why? Because in the onset, not going there right now. I'm not going. Doug Jones became senator of Alabama. That's why. So Brian Kemp, don't forget, the president could tweet his support for a primary candidate just like that. And there's already people talking about running against the governor just like that. We'll see. 9:30, we are going to come back, I promise, and do 30 minutes on impeachment and NATO because we have to. All right, it's important. Take us to break. That's the end of the Kemp appointment discussion this morning. Take us a break. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Elvis, right? I could break out my Elvis. I love this day because right after Thanksgiving, I hold the Christmas music. I don't know about you. I hold the Christmas music. Right after Thanksgiving, I can break out the Elvis Christmas CD. Everybody around me always loves when I break out the Elvis Christmas CD. Anyhow, there you go. 706-889-9700. Tell me what you think. Chief@FetcherNews.com. All the social media ways to follow us. Let's look at the alternative. Number 11, we got to keep reminding you, this could be the alternative. So I do like my governor, Brian P. Kemp. But I have questions, and I don't think it should be wrong for me to ask the questions. So we're not going to go backward and regroup. Take that down. You can't leave that up. That's got like a 15-second time limit to it. Holy mackerel. Anyhow, my nerves are shot. So I asked earlier, number 8. Now we're talking about the possible appointment of Kelly Loeffler for the open Senate seat in Georgia where Johnny Isakson is retiring, and hopefully I think he's going to give his farewell speech on the floor of the Senate tomorrow, Tuesday, and hopefully the governor will not step. Now, we don't know. We're just asking questions because, first of all, what I could figure with looking this couple up, Kelly Loeffler and her husband, they're globalists. They're very globally invested. I'm not clear. I just wish Brian Kemp would tell me. I don't care if he tells the rest of you, but I wish he would tell me, hey, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Kelly Loeffler will understand your Second Amendment rights. I think Kelly Loeffler will agree with being pro-life and the heartbeat bill. Because I just cannot see this lady. Now, I mean, they can always do a camo. They can put her in camo and give her a shotgun and say she's like ready to help the president round up illegals or something and maybe try to sell her to rural Georgia. But this guy here, now I just want to ask the questions. You know what I always tell you, okay? You're the research department out there. I don't know any of this. I just pull it up, look at it, study it, read. I could be wrong. There you go. You can clip that sound bite for later in, I could be right. This right here is a picture. And hang tight. I got it here. Just a minute. Okay. And his name is Jeff, is it Sprecher? I don't know. Sprecher? Okay. Preacher with an S. Sprecher. New York, chairman of New York Stock Exchange. Now, there's a lot more if you go on his Wikipedia page. Now, Kelly's Wikipedia page, I can't say 100%, but it looks like it's been scrubbed. Doesn't have a lot of depth to it. Okay? Just doesn't. But in this article right here, now this is an article from February. This picture was taken, it looks like February 6, 2019, somewhere around February this year, 2019. Okay? And it was taken at the prestigious Buckhead Coalition annual meeting. January 30th is when it was taken. All right? Prestigious Buckhead Coalition annual meeting. Now, you and I, regular guys and gals, we're not going to this. All right? But the governor, I understand the governor goes. Now, he's the governor of all people of Georgia, so I understand he went, right? But of all people, okay? So there's pictures all around the room, and it happens all the time. Greeting Governor Brian Kemp was Jeffrey Sprecher, CEO of the Intercontinental Exchange and chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Well, I mean, I don't know. But on January 30th of this year, our governor was at the Buckhead Coalition, and he was greeted by none other than Kelly's husband. That's her husband. Now, let me say something that is definitely going to get me in trouble. I don't care. You understand? I'm a believer. It's your thing, all right? I believe in free. It's your thing. Do what you want to do, okay? So I don't care. But if you do a statistic, or if you look at this, I'm going to say we're still as high as 85% maybe of women, when they marry, taking their husband's surname, okay? Now wait a minute, I'm not getting sexist or anything like that. Get off my back. But we're still around 85%. Would you say I'm wrong? But Loeffler did not choose to take his name. That's okay. I mean, she's a brand. When I hear, well, she's a brand or whatever, okay? I got it. But that's one thing. They have no children. So she didn't take her husband's surname. Because here's where I'm going with this in a minute. Didn't take her husband's name. Cool, fine, no problem. No children, okay? Either one of them are from Georgia. That's okay. Globalists, market movers, okay? Lear jets. How are you trying to get me to believe that picking this woman brings women back? Because I'm going to tell you, the most of the women I know, the majority, we're not in the Buckhead Coalition, okay? The majority, even in suburbs, all right? Working professional mothers, working professional, you don't have to have kids, families, all right? There's two working, all these suburbs that we say Kelly may bring women rushing back into the party. This is the diversity we need, is globalist from the Buckhead Coalition, from the New York Stock Exchange, that fly around in Lear jets. Whoa, that's some diversity. Damn. You really reached into a bag of diversity to bring suburban moms and dads and working women back in that rushed and left the party. Wow. Because let me tell you something. If you do the percentage of the Kelly Loefflers, all right, in Georgia that are living, all right, let me get here because I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I mean, it's probably going to be my number 5. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's not a whole lot of Kelly Loefflers in Georgia like that. Good for you. We're not upset that you made your money. We're just trying to figure out. We are only trying to figure out this morning why the governor feels you should be our senator. Because senator is a step down. Unless you need a power position in Washington to achieve some things in your business world. Interesting. I want to know, I want Brian Kemp, call me. You got the number. Explain to me how she is going to be my senator and a staunch defender of the President of the United States and not serve her own purpose, her own benefit. Now, that being said, okay, the majority of suburban moms, doctors, lawyers, I say, work in the insurance company, I don't know. I mean, you might be police officers in these suburbs. I don't know. I'm not discounting any career for a woman. But the majority are probably men and women that live in, modest but nice upscale homes. They might both be driving a BMW, but they're rushing home to get Billy to violin lessons and Katie to football practice. I also want to say that because sometimes maybe girls play football, whatever, but they're trying to get the boys and girls all of their practice, get their homework done, okay? Soccer all day on Saturday. They're exhausted. They're running 24/7, living the American dream. And then they may go on family vacation and have the money to upgrade to first class. Good for them. May not. But they're not flying around in Lear jets. So I want somebody to explain how this brings back women to the Republican Party. I strongly disagree. Now, that being said, her husband, okay, let's go back to number 8. Just want to do this, okay. This is her husband, okay. Kemp was the keynote speaker at the keynote speaker. Buckhead's newest resident. Kemp joked, when I turned on this morning's news, I was glad to see the snow was in Minnesota, not Atlanta. I was relieved, okay? Kemp is pictured right there, and this is at the Buckhead Coalition. I'm okay with that. I'm going to quit saying that. Greeting Governor Kemp was Jeffrey Sprecher, right there next to the governor, CEO of the Intercontinental Exchange and chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so now let's go with, let me show you a couple pics here really quick. Now Number 4, this is Jeffrey and Kelly. 60-50, I think. I think he's 60, she's 50. That's okay. It's cool. All right. All right. Here's number 5. Okay. The power couple leaving to take over the world. Okay. There they are. Here's number 6. They are at the New York Stock Exchange. All right. New York Stock Exchange, Euronext. You need to research these people, folks. You need to research, okay? I'm just saying. There they are. There's Kelly, and, they're at the stock exchange. Globalist to the max. I'm just telling you something. I don't care, all right? Don't do a camo, big truck, shotgun commercial if it's not who you are. But I'm interested in self-funding. Somebody told me the other day that they didn't have a problem. She was able to self-fund. Now, I will say this. Yes, we do have a multimillionaire senator, David Perdue. What's the difference? Now, I'm going to kill a couple arguments, okay? What's the difference? David Perdue ran for office, and you, the Georgia citizens, elected him up against Michelle Nunn, which the daughter of Sam Nunn. So let's go all the way around the circle here. So anybody, if you're sitting in a circle today and say, well, David Perdue is a multi-millionaire, and he's a globalist. He lived in here, and he lived over there, and he was CEO and was in this country and that country, and he's this and he's that. I tell you what he is. He's the duly elected senator from Georgia. He ran. I watched like 8 candidates across the stage, from Karen Handel to Paul Brown to David Perdue to Jack Kingston. I watched the whole thing. And then I watched a runoff. And then I watched David Perdue run a campaign across the state as the outsider with a team of consultants. And he beat Michelle Nunn, Sam Nunn's daughter, and he is your senator. Kelly, you are welcome to try that. You passed that up. Why should we give you something? What are you entitled to? Why should we give you anything? Why? Why should we put you in this position of power? Why? Could somebody just answer me that? Now I think it was 2014 or whatever, she passed up. She talked about a run. Okay? And that's where Republicans, and we're getting yelled at for asking questions. We don't want the Democrats. I study the DCCC. I know what the Democrats are doing. I have cautioned, MoveOn.org and all of these people, George Soros in this state. Okay? I brought it to you. Eric Holder, President Obama, one thing after another. The National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Don't tell me. I've been studying this for a long time. Democrats are, excuse the expression, licking their chops over this. Okay? So she passed up a run. We don't know what she would do. Now she's going to be given the position and run. We know nothing. But we're bad for asking. Why give this person that? It's the only question we have, the biggest one. Why? What did she do for us? How did she impress you? They're globalist establishment people. I mean, she's not going to come to North Georgia and put on hiking boots. She might. I don't know. I could be wrong. Number 7. They're a power couple. You're not quite catching on and tuning in to what you're getting. You're getting 2. You remember when Bill Clinton and Hillary, you get 2. You get 2. You're getting 2 here. You better read everything on these globalists. There they are on the floor. I'm not against people making money, damn it. Get off my back. This one I can't get my head around. Not one thing. Send me one thing that says, hey, you up there in North Georgia, Kelly Loeffler is the best thing that could happen to Georgia and be our next senator. And we can prove, send me the stuff. We can prove she holds every value that's important to you and I. She holds the same. Number 9. Do you know what that is? Look it up. Write it down. BAKKT. Look it up. And number 10, there's the power couple. They're called market movers. Don't forget number 11, the alternative. Okay, now let's go back to number 10. Let's leave it there for a minute. Okay, so I want to ask you to go look up Intercontinental Exchange. I want you to look up the Intercontinental Exchange. Okay? Is an American company that owns exchanges and financial and commodity markets and operates in 12 regulated exchanges and marketplaces. This includes ICE Futures Exchange, International Energy Commission. Is that something? I don't know. Look it up. Future Exchange in the United States, Canada, Europe. Okay. ICE also owns and operates 6 central clearinghouses. All right? Get down here. Jeffrey Sprecher, developer. ICE was founded by Sprecher and backed by Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BP, Total, Shell, Deutsche Bank, and one I can't pronounce. There you go. Better look these people up, man. I mean, these are power people, globalist. Jeffrey Sprecher, an American businessman and founder, chairman, and CEO of Intercontinental Exchange and chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, my anxiety. I'm telling you, where is the nitro? I'm going to have to put it under my damn tongue. Look this guy up. Hold on. Trying to find one more I wanted to look for. Now, Kelly, part of the power couple. Her Wikipedia is not that deep. This is not hard. You go in there and look, and then you click and you click and you research and read. A businesswoman, she is the chief executive officer of Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T. Remember that? And part owner of Atlanta Dream, the women's national basketball. Now, you need to, Loeffler married Jeffrey Sprecher in 2004, the CEO of the International Exchange. You need to look up B-A-K-K-T. Now, and then the last one I think I just showed you, I went to the corporate chairman and chief executive officer of Intercontinental Exchange chairman. Let's see what else I want on here. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm wondering if, these are the things I'm wondering. I'm wondering if their companies need clearances from the government to operate. I'm wondering if there's some international business that they need some government regulations maybe adjusted, or they need some government regulations to go away, or they need to get approval to operate some of their businesses in other countries. What will she do? Will she be senator? and totally walk away from all of her business relationships? Will she? Will he not interfere with her being senator? Maybe he might say from time, I know a senator or two or three. I think I'm going to end there. I'm just going to ask you a question, and this picture again, as innocent as it could be. Number 8. Forget about Kelly Loeffler for a minute and think about her husband, Sprecher, chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, somebody has to be chairman. They're globalist. They own Lear jets. They have no children. Okay. I am not endorsing Congressman Collins, but I would just like for Governor Brian Kemp, and this picture was taken this year at the Buckhead Coalition. I would just like for Governor Brian Kemp to look at me and you, if you're interested, and tell us how these people share our Georgia Republican values. Because remember something, let's go back where we started, okay? This is what happened. Now, wait a minute, go here. Go to number 5, okay? Look at these people really close. It's Kelly Loeffler, maybe a wonderful person. You got to understand, I don't know her. I do not know her. I may be an absolute wonderful person. But every single bit of this has been done behind closed doors, no transparency, and we're the bad guys for asking. So I want you to look at that couple right there. Market movers, that power couple, okay? And think about Georgia Republican values. And think about what we really believe in. And think about right now of all weeks with the House Judiciary with Jerry Nadler and getting ready the impeachment, all right, articles of impeachment going to be written in the Judiciary Committee this week, okay, with ranking member, Republican member Doug Collins, that will soon move probably to the first of the year to a trial in the Senate. So I want you to look at her and see and ask yourself, Georgia Republican values as we see it, supporting the president, going to go up there and defend the president in the Senate, and run for office. Look at that. Now, let's close this, because this is all I wanted to do, ever wanted to do, and I got scolded for it, and I don't know about you. Number 2, look at her. I stand with hardworking Georgians and the President of the United States. The ideal that I would appoint someone to the U.S. Senate that's not pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-freedom, and 100% supportive of the president and his plan to keep America great is ridiculous. Now go to the last picture I just had up of her and him, if you can find it real quick. No, her and him. So what I just read, Governor Kemp, you met her and you found all these things in her. I await for you to tell me this is who she is. And I also await to see what she does and who will run against her. Now, when we come back, I want to talk just a minute about what possibly can happen with an election if she runs. And then we promise we will end the show with impeachment. Take us to break. All right, folks, we're back, and I'm your host, BKP. This is a segment you're recording right now, right? A new one, because this is what we want to do. Okay. I'm your host, BKP. There's the phone number to contact me, email to let me know what you think, and the social media way you can follow us. Now, let's start with the alternative, because this segment we're going to talk about Governor Brian Kemp, and I want to make sure. So put up number 11, okay? We'll start the segment quickly. Remember, I like my governor, Brian Kemp of Georgia, because this could always be the alternative. So no matter what discussion we have, remember, we don't have to deal with this, okay? So just put that up. Now, number 10. Who are these people? Market movers, right? Market movers. Now, we have questioned what we think might happen, and it could be happening now. The governor of Georgia could have a 9 o'clock press conference and introduce this lady, okay? He could have an 11 o'clock. He could have a 2 o'clock. Now, my understanding is, all right? But my understanding is I think Tuesday, tomorrow, I think whether you like the guy or not, Senator Johnny Isakson of Georgia is going to give his farewell address on the Senate floor. It's going to be history, okay? For Georgians, the Senate, his farewell address. I think tomorrow, all right? You can look that up. My hope is, respectfully, the governor of Georgia will let, okay, Senator Isakson give his farewell address and then do a press conference. All right. Johnny Isakson, to me, might as well be a Democrat. Now, I know he's not healthy, and I wish him well, and I respect the family, and I'm not going to get down that road. I would never do that. But I find it sometimes hard to figure out if Johnny Isakson's been a Democrat or Republican. But I do know this, okay? Not a bad guy. All right, Johnny's not a bad guy. Tomorrow, I think he gives his farewell address on the Senate floor. Hopefully, the governor of Georgia will respect that in his appointment. But we'll see what happens. So this could happen today. This appointment could come today. Now, last 2 weeks, all right, I started questioning, if you watch this show, I started questioning from the very minute the window closed. All right? Now, let's go ahead with number 4. Who are these people? What do we know about these people? Okay? Now, the other thing I want to make sure of, let's go to number 13. Let me get this out of the way first. I'm not here today to endorse. I happen to be broadcasting from the 9th District of Georgia. I know the district pretty well, 9th Congressional District of Georgia. Okay? I know the congressman from the day he decided to run for Congress. That's when I know him. And I've come on this show many a times and told you, I think I know him as well as Congressman Doug Collins as anybody else. Okay? But I've known the congressman from the beginning. I want to be clear. I'm not endorsing Doug Collins. I want to look at the camera and say something very quick here. I, a conservative, pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-constitutional conservative, okay? I had to put up with John Boehner from Ohio being Speaker of the House, okay? So we have lived through in Ohio, nothing about my Ohio friends, let me clear that up. We have lived through Ohio with the Speaker of the House. Then I have to shift. I'm told I have to shift to Wisconsin. A cheesehead, Paul Ryan, a globalist, establishment, rhino, all the above, right? I am told that that's now my new, as a constitutional conservative, pro-life, Second Amendment, Republican voting, whatever you want to call me, okay? But now, what do I have to do? I have to deal with the Wisconsin Speaker of the House. I watched Paul Ryan hand that damn gavel back over to Nancy Pelosi, all right? I'm going somewhere with this, all right? So I want to make sure that there's 2 things that happen here. I want to make sure there's 2 things that I'm clear on here. If the governor picks Doug Collins to be our next senator, okay. Because I have faith in the 9th District of Georgia, congressional district that I know very well, that the voters in the 9th District will send to Washington, D.C. a conservative Congress person. We'll go with person, okay? But we'll send a conservative. I'm okay with that. So if he gets picked with senator, I will miss him as a congressman. and a staunch defender of the Trump administration will switch over to the Senate, but I can be okay. But if Governor Kemp does not pick him today, I think it's high time Georgia gets a Speaker of the House. I think it's high time that we work and we get back the House of Representatives and we have Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to see the picture of Nancy Pelosi having to hand Doug Collins the gavel. So that being said, all right, I'm not going for the endorsement. What concerned me with the governor, Brian, I think P. Kemp, what concerned me with Governor Kemp was he came out and he led every eligible Georgian to believe you could be the next senator. Led us all to believe. Why, if you were to take the time, you could be a mother of three, an attorney, and be working in a law firm, or a doctor and a mother of three, married, whatever, and if you say, hey, I want to go, no matter who you, black, white, Asian, no matter, no, you can be the next senator. He led you to believe that. He led you to believe he was going to be the Brian Kemp that we got to know during the campaign. I'm going to call him just a regular guy, man. Just a guy, when you meet him, you felt good. Met the governor several times, just enjoyed it, all right? That's what he led us to believe. That's who he is. And man, we were thinking when that first happened, Kemp's, hey, you go there, man. You're not going to go with the establishment. You're not going to go with the money. You're not going to go with the political power. You're going to open the window to anybody. So my understanding is 500 applicants. Okay, I want to start here for a reason. 500 applicants were led to believe, and there's some good applicants in there. Okay, now I'm not endorsing, but you got Tom Price. So we've got Jack Kingston, Martha Zoller. I mean, I don't want to, Jan Jones. List goes on. 500 candidates. Okay. So we are patiently waiting and supporting our governor out here in rural Georgia, Atlanta, regardless, the suburbs, Buckhead, Canton, it don't matter where you're at, Fayetteville, all right, Valdosta, all right, Savannah, Augusta, Athens. We're patiently waiting for the governor to start the process. We don't know out here if Governor Kemp is interviewing. We don't know if he has a staff of 10 people that he put together to vet everybody. Put me a stack together. We don't know if the governor said, put me a stack together, okay? All right? Of that meet everything. Pro-life, Second Amendment, okay? Put that stack together. Conservative, put this stack together and let me see. So we don't know if this governor had a pile this high that had all the values that we believe in Georgia. Okay, we don't know. Go ahead and take Collins down. All right, let's go ahead and put number 4 up, or number 6. I like that New York Stock Exchange. All right, so we don't know if they're stacked this high and this high and this high. And they said, Mr. Governor, we have sorted through all 500. I think 500. And here are the ones that are totally in line with your values, and our president of the United States supports our president, totally in line. You can vet these people. Nothing's coming out on them. They have not given a single dollar to Maxine Waters' campaign or her groups or anything like that. Here you go. And there's this one, and then there's this one. You know, it's a little sketchy. We don't know that. We don't know anything about the process. We never had the governor come out. We never got to meet the team that was vetting and reading the resumes. We don't know who did that. Or I don't. Could you send it to me? So then, I've said this being redundant, the window starts to close on the day and the hour, stay with me, that you can apply. Now, what was there, 3 months to get your application in? How hard was it? Because God knows you have enough assistants around you to work up all the, paperwork and everything to get it in. But the window almost closes and boom, here comes the manila envelope. We'll just visualize that. And who is it from? Number 10. It's from market movers, Kelly Loeffler. Do you know Kelly Loeffler? Do you know anything about her? Do you know her background? Do you know she's from Illinois? She's not from Georgia, which I don't care. You know what I mean? Do you know her husband? He's not from Georgia. Okay, do you know them? Do you know if she's pro-life? Do you know if she's pro-Second Amendment? Do you know if she supports the President of the United States? What do you know about this individual? Okay? So from the time that window, now, again, number 11, don't forget the alternative. Now back to that one, okay? Remember. So, anyhow, so we started asking questions. I did on day one. I mean, some of you are new this morning because, this is really snowballed. And we started asking questions. Who is Kelly Loeffler? All right? And what happened? I mean, we started going through. So this is the Thanksgiving wish, and this is what the governor of Georgia said to you and I if we had any questions, because we don't know this person, okay? Because forget for a minute, Loeffler and Collins. Let's take it. How about the other 498 candidates? Forget these two. So we ask questions. We want to know. Here's the Thanksgiving wish that you and I got from Governor Kemp for just asking questions. Number 2. I stand with hardworking Georgians and the President of the United States. Well, we do know, Governor, you took a trip up to Washington, D.C., is what we understand, on a Sunday with Kelly Loeffler, and President Trump let you know that's not the way he was going. So, you tell us you stand with the president, but we'll go with that. The idea that I would appoint someone to the U.S. Senate that is not, capital letters, so he's yelling at us now. He's yelling at not pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-freedom, and 100% supportive of our president and his plan to keep America great is ridiculous. Go to number 3. That's part 1. The attacks and games are absolutely absurd. Frankly, I could care less what political establishment thinks. Happy Thanksgiving! Exclamation point. More information after the holiday! Exclamation point. So that was the happy Thanksgiving I got from my governor for just wondering. Just wondering if she said, do you think for 1 minute I'd appoint somebody that wasn't yelling at me, happy Thanksgiving? Because I want to say something, Governor Kemp. I am still today a supporter of, Brian P. Kemp, my governor. Okay, you're my governor, and I support you. But my concerns and many others around this state, not knowing who this is, and our right to question and ask who she is, and our right to question and say, how did her application get all the way to the top so fast, just hours after you closed the door to the opportunity to apply? All of the things that we have a right to do, that's how you say happy Thanksgiving? Now let me say something, because I'm going to talk for a while on this, okay? Just when GOP chair David Schaefer, okay, just when he thought he could bring Republicans together. Now, if you're in Georgia, the Republican Party does not coalesce around any one thing. They can't. They have the hardest time coming together. We have two Georgias. That's what it said, rural. We've got different geographical areas. You go far south, things are different there. Go up in the mountains, things are different there. You go towards Athens, because I tell you what, Governor, she ain't yelling go dogs, all right? You go towards Athens, things are different there. Go out towards Rome or out towards Alabama, Gadsden, that way, you name it. Columbus, Georgia. Georgia's geographically a very large state, and it's Republican Party is very fractured on how they see things. Then we have Atlanta and a belt around there called the suburbs. That being said, the governor thinks by appointing her, women are departing the Republican Party in rapid numbers and voters that he can bring them back. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But just when GOP Chair David Schaefer thought he could bring everybody together, because I do believe, after what someone said to me, the last couple GOP chairs were placeholders. That's what it was said to me. Georgia GOP chairs were placeholders. Now, my opinion, because I do like David Schaefer, I think he's doing a great job with the Republican Party, and I understand what his position is to get Republicans elected. But this right here is really, he has been working so hard and still does on trying to assemble grassroots voters around candidates so we can get, Republican, make sure it stays red, Georgia. But the governor does this. And if Governor Brian Kemp does not think that picking her, forget Doug Collins, picking this lady will not fracture Georgia, whoa, you got another thing coming. I don't know who your advisors are, Mr. Governor, but you got another thing coming when it comes to rural Georgia and outside of the suburbs. I don't think you're hitting a home run in the suburbs. Somebody called me Wednesday, and I got to get moving here. Somebody called me Wednesday to try to tell me, and I can't tell you who it is, but they tried to talk me into understanding Kelly's okay. Kelly Loeffler's okay. She is going to be respected around the suburbs. She's going to bring women back into the party. And I couldn't buy it. I can't buy it today. But this is what happened, okay, when we ask questions. Now, everybody else in Georgia got number one here. Go to number one. We have so much to be grateful for this holiday season, from the Kemp family to yours. Happy Thanksgiving and God bless, from Brian Kemp. Now look at the Thanksgiving I think I got. Number 3. Bam! Just say it. All I'm doing is asking questions. Now, I want to take a break. We're staying on the same subject, okay? We're staying on the same subject, so we're gonna come back, because this is where it's probably my last day. Probably clean out my desk, because who in the world talks about the New York Stock Exchange and such powerful globalists? They're globalists. Damn it! I mean, Brian Kemp, are you seriously trying to convince me this morning, Mr. Governor, that these people share our Georgia Republican values? Holy mackerel, they don't know how to travel. They ain't calling no damn Uber, okay? I mean, you want me to, this is the front, this is their power couple front door pick, number 5. What are you trying to convince me of, Mr. Governor? That these, I guess, all right, I mean, I am a capitalist. I am glad. Good for them. Wealthy buckhead. I got it, all right? But let me see this. Show this picture here, number 8. That was taken this year. Wonder how long they've been in talks. Who is that with Governor Kemp? I think back in January of 2019. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back. We're going to stay. Yes, damn it, I know impeachment's going on. We'll get there in a minute, all right? And do you know that when Donald Trump took office, only 2 countries, my understanding is, participated in paying the 2% to NATO? Now it's 9. Is that how you do that? Take a break. We'll be right back.